Okay, well, as I often do, I lied to you. I said that our last little podcast on computer and general maintenance would be the last podcast, but this has been going so well, and I do have a few minutes before I have to get to another task, that I thought we'd go ahead and cover this number 4 priority, your computer's security. And you've seen a collection of my t-shirts in the background here. My security t-shirt just arrived this last week, just in time for this podcast. Okay, now when we speak of security, we could be speaking of a number of different aspects of security. But for priority number 4, what I want to talk about in particular deals with your online security. Okay? And this has to do with the online threats to your computer and your data. Now, again, for the longest time we've been talking about antivirus, and hopefully, at the very least, you have antivirus software on your computer, and hopefully, at the very least, you have kept your subscription current if it's a pay-for version, and you have kept your antivirus software updated on a regular basis, at least once a week. Unfortunately, so many of my customers don't even have antivirus in the first place, but if they do, they've let it expire some time ago. And if they haven't let it expire, they never attend to their definitions. So for all practical purposes, their antivirus is not doing them any good at all if they have it on there at all. Okay? But the big bummer about all this is, according to AVG, one of the leading free antivirus softwares available online, and one that I recommend highly, only 3% of online threats are virally related. Only 3%. And I'll be honest with you, in all the work that I do on computers, I can't remember how long it's been since I have seen an actual virus. And that's a fact. Now, what are the other 97% of the online threats? Well, we have hackers, we have spyware, we have adware, we have rootkits, we have worms, we have trojans, and the list goes on. It seems like they come out with a new name for a new threat just about every week or month. Just like we use antivirus software to protect our computer from viral attacks, so too we must have other software, security softwares, to protect our computers from these other attacks. And the fact is, no one software, or even one software suite, sorry to say, is going to cover all of our bases. What I propose, and what you'll see on my website under priority number 4 where it comes to security, is to use what I call a team approach. I have selected for your consideration on my website a handful of good, solid internet security programs. Most of them are free. Some of them are trialware. You get at least 30 days free, and then they're going to ask you to pay for it. Others of them are going to be on a donation basis, and I really encourage you that if you value good security software and it is free and they're just doing it on a donation basis, take the time, make the donation. Your $3 to $5 compounded by the thousands or tens of thousands or maybe even hundreds of thousands of people who contribute make it possible for them to keep this going, keep it up to date, and keep it available to those of us for a fraction of what you'd pay if you had to go to the big box stores or the big security companies. And frankly, most of these free softwares, security softwares, do as well or better than a lot of the ones you're going to be paying $30, $50, $90 for yearly. Okay? So what are we talking about here? Well, we're talking about firewalls, we're talking about spyware protection, we're talking about spyware and adware inoculators, we're talking about rootkit protection, Trojan protection. All of these are going to be found in the selection of softwares I've made available for your consideration here on my website under priority number 4, security. Now there's another aspect of security that we'll cover in priority number 5, and it has to do with access. Who has access to your computer? That's another security threat. That's not what we're talking about here. Take a look at those that I've recommended. You can also go to a very good site called download.com where they practically serve all the different credible security softwares as well as a variety of just about any type of software you can imagine. It's one of my favorite sites for downloading new softwares. Take a look there and get your computer security up to date and keep it up to date.